Do you know who was one of the earliest investors in Canva? It was the
No.
Australian government. The Australian government invested $5 million into Canva when they were just starting out. I think the government should be an like if the government identifies of like three or four startups, like
Makes
these
sense.
can be our flagship ones. Why
Yeah.
shouldn't like even in programmers? Why shouldn't the government invest in programmers?
Yeah.
Because programming is such a big narrative flip for the entire world, right?
Yeah.
If programming succeeds,
Yeah.
uh, the narrative completely becomes, oh wow, a Nepalese tech company is teaching AI to the world. I am looking for the government to have a stake in Nepal's tech story, right? Not just, oh, we will support you, but our tax money is on the our citizens' money is on the line, right?
Yeah.
And it's already on the line. The government is already the budget gets just wasted every year, right?
Yeah.
Every year
There's a lot.
there's a
Monopolies.
project that never goes live,
Yeah.
a project that goes live but in the wrong way,
Yeah.
money lost to corruption with no impact.
Yeah.
So the money is already going haywire. The government just needs to give a clearer mandate around, um, it just needs to be clear with a vision of where the money needs to go for the maximum output or the maximum probability of breakaway success.
Like, let's say, for example, if the government chooses to say that, okay, these are the 10 companies that we believe that invest in, like, gives like huge equity, like a VC would fund, which is possible for a
And
government.
let me just finish the point. Actually, what you said made me realize something else. The government is already spending that money, but it is spending it in very small fragments. The startup
Yeah.
loan program, all of this, it
Yeah.
is just again, it's the way our governments have always worked. Is we
Yeah.
just spread out our bets too much, and then
Yeah.
when you spread out your bets at that level, you can't build governance on top of that. Like, how many startup loans will you govern, right? How many people? And then people are creating all these fake startups to access these loans because they come at a lower interest rate.
Yeah.
So it just becomes a recipe for corruption.
Yeah.
Versus if that money was given to that entire pool was given to few startups with governance, proper governance put in
Yeah.
place, right? Like, for example, if someone from the government, top level official, joins the board of directors,
Yeah.
has that personal duty to keep a tab on transparency,
Yeah.
because it's citizens money, right?
Yeah.
uh, it doesn't feel, it doesn't have the same feel good narrative as, oh, the government will give loans to small and medium businesses and entrepreneurs who are kind of at the roots of it. But uh, what that explanation misses is it does not change Nepal's story.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, let's say, for example, again, like, maybe not a bit ambitious to think about it right now. Um, but then, let's say, for example, 10 startups, and the government says, like, we'll fund $1 million on these startups, and then we'll do our best to, like, like, position them, push the narrative, give them support, like, whatever is
Whatever is
needed.
needed, yeah.
And I think, like, with one startup blowing up, the narrative will change. Narrative will
It
change,
should
right?
change.
So, yeah, it'll
It
totally
should
change.
change, yeah. And
And
then
the,
you
like,
just need one. We
we just
just
need
need
one.
one Canva, we just need one Skype, like
And it has to
Skype.
be a product company. It has
It
to
has
be
to
a
be a
product.
product company, yeah. Skype for Estonia, Canva for Australia, Grab for Malaysia. There are
Yeah.
hundreds of examples that one Gojek in Indonesia, right? Just one breakaway company that
Yeah.
completely lifts the entire ecosystem. Flipkart in India, right?
Yeah.
Flipkart in India was India's like startup moment where
Startup.
it created like so many entrepreneurs, that company,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So once you have that one breakaway success, it just
Yeah.
more lifts the entire startup ecosystem. I completely agree with you that we just need one.
Yeah.
I hope that's what and tangible, like we are in the race kind of to be that company.
No, no, I think it's true. Like, it's sort of, yeah, like, like, how people say that, like, you need to have an ambition that people laugh at. Um, I'm sort of like, just the thought of government funding a company in Nepal. Um, it feels really good, but it just feels very unnatural to where we are right now. It's just probably because of the bias of the past 20 years that we were part of.
Yes, but
And
it's also lack of storytelling, right? Like, you did not know that Canva was sponsored by the
yeah, I didn't know. I
supported by
didn't
the
know.
Australian government.
Yeah, I
So I
didn't know.
think
Yeah.
what Nepal needs right now, and that's what I'm working. I did I send you the link to the report I made?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So NASIT has been working on this kind of, how can we collect these stories, success stories from other countries, that so I think the problem is, the civil society and the professional societies, different associations, all of these,
yeah.
uh, it's like teen mahale format, right? You just give the recommendation,
Hmm.
and the problem with the teen mahale format is it does not have a space for examples.
Hmm.
So maybe the teen mahale needs to become a char mahale, where the fourth mahal is like, what are the analogies, what are the success stories from related countries.
Yeah,
I don't know, like, so I feel like that fourth mahal in the way we give recommendations to the government is completely missed. That storytelling aspect of why this is needed, and what are the examples, why this is needed is there. I think it's the third mahal, right? But the fourth mahal of what are the analogies, what are the example success stories, is completely missing. And then when you don't have that storytelling built into a recommendation, it feels wacko, right? Like, just the example I gave you, if I did not give you that Canva example, I just told
yeah,
you, oh, the government should fund Nepalese startups,
yeah,
5 Nepalese startups, you'd be
yeah,
like, yeah, of course you want to be that startup. Why wouldn't you say that?
yeah.